And page 52 of Springboard is returning us back to activity 110. There's a few more sections that we're going to tackle here. So, Alicia, could you read step 1 for us on page 52?
How are expository areas having this ideas below and create a rest of the knowledge of a separate paper?
Okay, now we're not going to use separate paper. That's silly because you already have a fine enough working space. We're not going to do anything different to it. But instead what I'm going to have you do in the columns is copy down the number series that you see on the screen. The similarities will be 1 through 3. Differences will be 1 through 3. And I'm going to help you brainstorm with your family here. I'm going to give you about, let's say, 2 minutes. And I want you to think, what exactly are the similarities with the two writing styles of expository or essay writing and narrative, as well as what are the obvious differences between the two. All right, go ahead, talk about with the family. Give you about 2 minutes to tackle this one. What are some similarities that you folks were thinking of between the two different writing styles? What are you thinking?
You can express yourself.
Okay, in both types you can be expressive.
It can be both written in third person.
Okay, you could write both in third person. I dig that. Similarities is usually the trickier one to get to. Yeah, Michael?
They both have a central idea.
Oh, they both have a central idea or a message. I love that. Okay, did anyone think of, like, something totally out of the box as a difference? Not the obvious of, one's a story, one's not. What were you thinking is so obvious? Or not obvious, I should say, Logan.
They're both types of writing.
Oh, that's so obvious. They're both types of writing. Think out of the box. What do you think, Jordan? Oh, entertainment versus argumentative or identified, something to that effect. I love those ideas. Those are great. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the second section of this guy. So at the bottom of page 52, you're going to see a number 2 kind of popping up there. And number 2 is going to be interesting. All right? Hopefully it's not a challenge for you, but it's getting you wrapped around the idea of having to define a term or a concept. All right? So with step 2, instead of reading the whole piece aloud, just highlight what you see highlighted on the screen. You're going to develop a list of words that describe the 4 concepts below. So what would describe freedom, responsibility, sacrifice, friendship? Now this is what I'm going to ask you to do. It's kind of challenging. I want you to try and identify 3 words, terms, or phrases that define each one of those concepts. So do you see how like 1, 2, and 3 popped up next to each word? You're just trying to get your brain kind of thinking out of the box here. So instead of saying, well, responsibility is when you're responsible, right? Or having friendship is having a friend, you know, you're trying to think of words to describe without using the word itself, which is always kind of a challenge. All right, so I'm going to have you work on this challenge with your family. Let's say I give you about 3.5 minutes, and let's see what you're able to come up with. All right, 3.5 minutes, see if you can't think of some terms, phrases, words that would best describe these concepts. Go ahead. All right, folks, I'm going to bring it back. I was hearing some really great arguments between families. I heard some frustration from folks going, I can't get this is not working. So I'm just curious if people think they've got some really amazing examples. I was going, hey, I think it's pretty solid. Maybe? Okay, what are you thinking, Ashley? What was the word you were defining?
Friendship.
Friendship? Loyalty, that would be a function strategy. Michael? For friendship, they put trust. That's a function strategy. When did I actually see function?
for friendship is dependability.
Oh, for friendship, she said dependability, function strategy. For responsibility, we put leadership, function strategy. Love it.
For responsibility, maturity.
For responsibility, maturity, function. All of you guys are coming up with function strategies. This is really interesting. I like it. I'm going to take one more. Donovan, what were you thinking?
Freedom. Freedom America.
Freedom is America. You gave an example strategy, sir. Thank you for thinking outside the box, providing us an example strategy. All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I got it.
Why was I saying function strategy, example strategy? Why was I doing that? What do you think, Chloe? Nice. Chloe was just saying, hey, these are the things, the types of strategies we have to use to define a hero, and you were just kind of pointing out, hey, this is what we were doing. Excellent, excellent hearing. All right, at this point, when I say go, you're going to need to answer your out question of what you have to know and do to be successful in EA2, as well as put your materials away. Go ahead.